Hello and welcome to your darn near personal reading for February 7th through the 13th. I am super excited to do this reading for you because I just did the dailies and they'll be posted on Facebook in the membership, and they were so awesome. So I can't wait to see what we get here. So we start off the week with the moon in Taurus. This week has the energy Monday through Friday of get it done. I think you'll be really inspired and fired up to get things done and get things moving. So start off the week on the right foot. We have early in the day, on Monday, we have the moon trining with Mars in Capricorn. So definitely that's the energy of really wanting to push it and get some stuff done. And then the moon by the end of the day will be trining with Venus, still in Capricorn, but that means to take a little bit of time. Okay, so find the balance. Work really hard during the day. Plan to not work late into the night if at all possible so that you can keep things in balance. But I also feel like some of this energy has to do with, as you're working through it, that you find the balance of your week. Feels more than that. It feels like the work that you do now helps you to bring a lot of things in your life into balance. So take a look around. It isn't just your work. It's also everything that brings balance to your life, because it's very grounded, right? The moon in Taurus is very grounded. You want to feel very safe and secure in relationships. You want to feel safe and secure in the foods that you're eating, in your financial situation. And so whatever area it is that you're working on Monday and Tuesday, there will be unexpected light being shown on something on Tuesday. Some big thing is going to pop up and catch your attention. So pay attention to that. It's there to support you. It is Uranus going to trine Mars so this energy is like sudden insight about what action to take. I really want to encourage you to do that, to take that action later in the day. The moon is then going to trine with Pluto. And so this is a transformation that you want to be making, that you want to take the time to do. That moon is also going to be squaring off, though, with Saturn. And I'm sorry, yeah, well, no, it does. It squares with Saturn, too. But that's early in the day. Early in the day, it squares with Saturn in the overnight hours at 2:01 a.m. But that moon squaring the sun, that's a lot of illumination coming in on a focal point. And so where is Taurus in your chart and where is Aquarius in your chart? Because there's something when those two square that is definitely a focal point. They're pointing something out. It's like an arrow. I almost want to say this feels like an arrow that points toward what you got going on in Pisces. Last degrees of Pisces, early degrees of Aries. What do you have going on there? I almost feel like these two things coming together where they point at it. So that would be right in that area of 25 of Pisces. Well, no. Yes. 10, 15, 20. Yeah, right around there. Around 25 degrees of Pisces to about 5 degrees of Aries. If you have any plans or placements, for sure it's shining on that, but also what those houses are. There's all that whole sector has this energy around it that really feels like they just keep showing me this arrow, like it's pointing in a direction that you need to be moving in. And so take a look at what you feel like. Pay attention to your intuition on that. So, wow. Let's get a little more on that. So you have here the Two of Swords, indecision, is holding you back. Make a choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others, feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So there you go. Being trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. It's like the Queen of Wands here wants to organize things and get things going. And then we have the Four of Swords that just wants to rest and do nothing. That's what that Two of Winter is on. There's something that you want to take action on that requires you to believe in yourself and trust in yourself. And you are sitting there in a state of inactivity. Maybe you don't feel really well. Maybe you're resting. Maybe it just doesn't feel like the time. But I feel like with that arrow coming together, last degrees of Pisces is understanding how limitless you are. First degrees of Aries is always about striking the match on something and being creative. And gosh, it's the Fool energy, the beginner's mind. So understanding that you are limitless in whatever it is that you choose to pursue, I think it's time to strike the match. She looks like, that wand looks like she's carrying a lit match. All right, so then the moon is going to move at 5:27 a.m. into Gemini on Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of cool because Mercury is now moving forward. It's off that 24-degree point. It's starting to inch its way. So now it's like 25 degrees of Capricorn. It's heading in toward having that last conversation with Pluto about what it is, what's the game plan, what are we going to do. Meanwhile, Venus and Mars is chasing down Venus. They will actually catch up next week with each other. And so there is this energy around really getting things going and making a plan that really goes somewhere. They are conjuncting at right there at 15 degrees. Right in the middle of Capricorn. So 15 degrees of any sign is a critical point. It is halfway between the beginner's mind and the mastery. So they're ready to take action on something that you've been thinking a lot about, that you've been wanting to work on, and now you're moving toward mastery on it in your Capricorn house. So where is Capricorn in your chart? It's always important to note. Really got to know your chart. So if you know where your rising sign is, then that helps you to determine where it is. But where are you feeling the pressure? Because even if you don't know your rising sign, you're feeling the pressure somewhere. Guaranteed. Guaranteed that you're feeling the pressure somewhere. So we have the moon going to sextile with Chiron that day. This is amazing energy, really, because the fog is starting to lift and you start to see things, and it's asking you to make a choice. It's asking you to make a choice between being a wounded individual carrying the baggage and crap with you. That is also Pisces energy, the deep wounding. Or the Fool energy of leaving it behind and carrying lightly, moving forward by dropping the baggage. Aries energy, the Fool. So that might be, so where are you being asked to let go of the wounding? That could be what the arrow's pointing to. Where are you being asked to let go of the wounding that is holding you back and keeping you from moving forward in a way that really benefits your life? There is such great opportunity to change the way you look at things, where you say, yes, all of that crap has made me better and stronger, and I shine brightly out into the world. I am better, I am stronger, I am the bionic woman, I am the bionic man, right? Like, I am replacing the things that didn't work with something that's so much better because I've gained this knowledge, this wisdom, this life experience, right? So, I think that if you can learn to celebrate yourself, you're going to really know what is happening. Oh my God, I love the cards that you have. Okay, so on Thursday, that moon still in Gemini is going to trine with Saturn. And Saturn is also asking you, what have you learned? Where are you going? Where are you growing? And you have the cycles and you have the growth card. Seek out a mentor or guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. Those baby steps, right? The beginner's mind of where that arrow is pointing to right there at letting go of letting cycles complete. Pisces is about letting cycles complete. Aries is about a new beginning. You are really being encouraged to let go of crap that is holding you back from the growth that you deserve, from moving in the direction you plan to come here. So let stuff go. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. And I just love the moon's magic. And then growth. Seek out the mentor or the guide. Take the baby steps. I missed something. Oh, be willing to learn from others. And I want to see if you're willing to learn from your own personal experience. So, of course, if we keep doing the same thing over and over, what happens? Oh, yeah, we get stuck there. And then it's like you're in a big old rut and you just dig yourself deeper and deeper. And you keep having not only, some people say you get the same results, but I think it's worse than that. Because when you first get into a rut and you get stuck, you feel optimistic, like, well, if I just push a little harder and get out of here, right? You start spinning your wheels. But over time, you're like, I'm never getting out of here. And so the worst part is really it isn't even that you get what you always got. It's that you give up. Don't give up. Instead, stick a board under there and let yourself get some traction and get out of there. Leave behind the mud and the muck that is holding you back. The moon's going to move into Cancer at 6:27 p.m. on Friday. This is a time to nurture yourself over the weekend, because I think Friday you're going to feel very clear-headed and you're going to, again, really see things. And I think you're going to be challenged to look into your own shadow self to see how you are reflected back to you and the people in your life. The good relationships that are shining back to you, the good things about you, or the friends that you have that you wish you were more like them. If you want to be more like them, you can, but you don't have to be, because maybe together you guys just make a complete picture. But they reflect back and forth. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and you don't like something about them, 100 times I can tell you, 100 out of 100, it's something that you do that you don't like, or you've had done to you previously and you don't like, and you're being shown that you need to move past that energy. Whichever one it is, it's one of those two things. So, if people treat you like crap, then you're allowing it, or you treat people like crap. It's one of those two things. So either you choose to move past it, you stand up for yourself. I am a recovering doormat. People are like, oh, you're so strong, you always stand up for yourself, blah, blah. No, I had to learn how to do that. And believe me, I had to learn over and over how to do it. Now, I learned as a child how to do it within the family dynamics, and I paid a dear price for it, let me just tell you. So then that was in the standing up for myself in the physical. But then I had to learn how to do it on the emotional and the mental. And that's been part of my growth period through my life. And the emotional, standing up for myself, not being a doormat just so people will like me and be nice to me, that was a really hard thing to move through. So now I'm kind of like, oh, if you don't like me, then you just don't have the same energetic resonance. And that's okay. Doesn't make anything wrong with you. Doesn't make anything wrong with me. It just means you're not my soul tribe. That's all. And you let go and you move on. Okay, so Moon in Cancer. That Moon in Cancer, it's going to be in trine with both Jupiter and Neptune over the weekend. Jupiter on Saturday, Neptune on Sunday. I recommend naps this weekend. I recommend taking the time to nurture yourself and pay attention to your dreams while you're asleep and while you're awake. And if you journal, this is a weekend to set a little time aside to dream and to dream big. Dream big. So I want to say don't play it small. I can't remember what this card says, but as I look at it, it looks like it is the flower of Venus. Whatever. I can't think of it. Anyways, so the flower of life, the flower of life, and all these tall trees. I feel like that from a seed you grow into something really, really tall. But it's the Sacred Rebels, and it's Alana Fairchild. I can never recommend anything more than Alana Fairchild for a deck if you want to go deep and you really want to learn some stuff about yourself. I have never had an Alana Fairchild. I had one that I wasn't a big super fan of, only because I had already figured all that stuff out, so I passed it on to someone else. Wasn't there anything wrong with the way it was written? It was just like I had worked out most of that stuff on my own. But if you ever want to just be able to go a little deeper and you want to find a deck, just take a look, go on YouTube or go to a store and say, what do you have that is made by Alana Fairchild? and see what resonates with you and what draws and attracts you. So I'm going to read to you from this one. The perfection of your life. Have you ever seen a storm pictured from above and it appears so beautiful and elegant? This is certainly different to the ground view, which can be quite a violent experience too. So there is great beauty in your life now. However, at this point in the natural process, you may be experiencing it as an anxiety-inducing rather than beautiful. That is that Uranus trining Mars while the moon conjuncts Uranus. I think Tuesday's a little shaky. I think you'll be like, wait, what? Okay. So, you may sense internal chaos. You may feel something is waiting to erupt from within as a restlessness or an anxiety that you cannot quite articulate, but the sense vaguely nonetheless. Because perhaps the chaos is fully fledged and a person or situation in your life is causing all kinds of havoc, upheaval, or change, uncertainty in your world. Whether the chaos seems subtle, strong, internal, or external, this oracle brings the same message to you. All is unfolding according to a perfect higher order. Remember, you had the cycles card. Things happen in divine timing and order. You are currently enduring a cosmic spiritual storm which is having an impact on you. It is clearing things out. It is ruffling feathers and preparing you for the lovely, super fresh, uplifting feeling that one experiences after the storm has finally passed. That arrow is pointing to concluding cycles so you can have a new beginning, and it's chaotic. Change is always chaotic. It is in chaos that you discover, oh gosh, everything, and you can begin again and you can build with a better and stronger foundation, right? So like after an earthquake, then cities will go through and they'll pass a better building codes so that what's built from the rubble is stronger and sturdier. That's kind of what's going on in your life right now. There are tower moments coming. I think if I would have used an oracle deck, a tarot deck for this week for my dailies, we probably would have had a tower show up on Tuesday. Okay, so there's something. If you have drawn this oracle after the storm, then this message is amplified for you. If you cannot believe that anything is happening, even at a subtle level, because you feel stuck, denied, bored, thwarted, or stale, this oracle brings you this message also. No matter what appears to be the truth, there is only the unfolding, the creative genius of the universe. You are not forgotten. You have not been looked over. You have not been denied, found wanting, or rejected as unworthy. The storm that needs to erupt is in your own heart. Do your liberating rain dance, rage, weep, pray, dance, paint, or sing. Express whatever is needed, however is needed to exorcise, with the O, exorcise, the blocked energy in your heart. Then you will call on the powerful perfection of your life path as it aligns for the next creative turn of the spiral of life. Once again, you will trust and directly experience the flower of life unfolding within you and around you. There is a storm, it's either coming or you're in the middle of it. It's either inside of you, you know things need to change and you're feeling frustrated that nothing's happening, or something has happened and you're like, ooh, okay, I need to deal with that. There's a gift in it, and the gift is in the recreation of your life in what it is that you want to make out of it. Your perception is super important. And I really want to say, if you're sitting here in the Two of Winter, this Two of Swords energy of indecisiveness, divine timing is at play. And I just want to say, if you don't make the change will be made for you. The change, however, will promote growth and healing. So, I don't know about you, I like to make my own changes. So if you feel the storm coming, what can you do? How can you start in the direction of making changes? And the first thing to do is decide clearly what it is that you want focus on that and take the next step in that direction. And things are going to fall down around you. But what I'm seeing right now is this person who is walking like down the middle of a street, a big city, and I see buildings collapsing into rubble all around them. But ahead there is like this verdant field, rolling fields, and they're walking toward it, and the sun is shining there. And this is all gray and a big rainstorm behind them, and they are walking through the chaos, and the wind is whipping, and nothing is touching them. Now, that may not be how you feel, but I feel as though if you make the choice and the decision, you will be protected and guided on your path. And even if once in a while you get a little blocked, or you have to make a move, or you have to jig and jag and zig and zag, or whatever, maybe duck and cover for a moment, you are protected. You're being guided. But the thing is, this person that's walking clearly knows where they're going. And I think if you don't know, then you're in the chaos. I think if you know where you're going, you avert the chaos because you're on your path and you're heading in the direction you're supposed to go. This weekend, take the time to get very clear on what it is you want for your life and what the next 1 or 2 steps are, and tell Spirit, okay, I've decided this is what I want. We're in this area of time where there's an 18-month cycle that's happening, coming off of that new moon in Aquarius, tied in with that North Node that just got into Taurus, with Uranus that rules Aquarius, where the new moon happened in Taurus. So I really want to recommend that you get clear and you start making some moves, because by the time we get to the last week of July, and it's usually the pressure coming up to it that is the hardest and the most difficult. So I want to say definitely June and July, be on your path, because that is going to get really intense as that North Node moves closer and closer to coming into exact conjunction with Uranus and Taurus, which is squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn and Uranus both rule Aquarius. And we're in the energy of that new moon. Even though that new moon, you'll hear people say it goes for 2 weeks or whatever. No, it starts a cycle. It starts a cycle. Each new moon is a seed that is planted for at least 18 months. So, get your crap together. Figure out what you want. Start moving in that direction. And I think they just said slipstream. And you get into the slipstream. And you'll shoot out on the other side. And you'll be like, wow, that was a ride. Instead of, oh my God, I keep getting knocked around. Don't get knocked around. You can do this, right? You guys take good care. I'll talk to you soon.